Good morning. I am live in Alameda, California, and this is your Monday Personal Sensei. Good morning and namaste. This is your Personal Sensei for Monday, July 20th, 2015. Christopher Witecki here, psychic astrologer, friend to the world, and self-proclaimed Sensei to serious joy. Welcome. This is your Personal Sensei for Monday, July 20th. And over the weekend, I don't know about you, but I had some profound breakthrough and shift. It actually started Thursday when my computer broke down entirely. In fact, it was a total twist of fate or God's interjection, because it was like the Final Destination. You ever see that movie where all these perfect things go wrong to kill somebody? You know what I mean? Well, that's what happened to my computer on Friday. So I just was like, wow, God wants me off the air today. I mean, it was very frustrating. And then over the weekend, I lost my iPhone. I was like, wow, God wants me off my phone. You know what I mean? Like some major shifts. So I took a lot of time, Saturday and Sunday, to meditate on what is, being trying to said here. And I know what it is, I believe. You'll see it starting today in this show. It has to do really with all of us. We're all getting back to the heart of ourself. Now, in my particular case, I have a Leo rising. And as Leo comes here in another week or so, I'm going to come out with a new Chris Witecki. Now, you've been seeing this new Chris Witecki come out for a long time. You've been seeing the format of my show change. Part of this new Chris Witecki is I want to be transparent, particularly with my heart. And in my own personal struggles, I've had a lot of hardship because I want to put my heart out there, but I always get burned. I always get burned because I don't protect myself. So I haven't been able to figure out how to do both of those at the same time. How do I put my heart out there and protect myself? And I have to say, I'm 42 years old, and I'm just now starting to understand this. So don't judge yourself. I tried very hard to know it, read all the Lightwalker books, you said it, and I'm still trying to figure it out. But I'm here to announce kind of a final destination for me, I believe, as far as how I'm going to be proceeding from this point forward. For one, I'm going to just be completely transparent. And this is a little bit hard to admit, but I love to entertain. I'm such a showman that I realized over the weekend that I've been trying to win people over. I've been trying to sell you on information you didn't ask for. I've been trying to teach you when you didn't ask to be taught, and that is actually dishonorable in the honor-dishonor code. And I didn't even see all this because my heart just really wanted to help the world, and it drives me crazy inside when I see people suffering and I have the answer to that. That one I figured out, it's like, wow, I figured that one out. They don't have to go through that. So I've come to a final destination. I really don't want to give that movie too much credit. Yeah, just works out very well. And that is to be myself. And you go, well, duh. Well, I don't know, because there's so many versions of me. I'm kind of cuckoo crazy, and it's like, which of the Cocoa Puffs are you going to put forward, right? And I was thinking about that, like, who is my most authentic self? When does my most authentic self come forward naturally? And I realized, you know what? When I'm a reader, I am, I think, the best reader. I'm so good at it. Something comes out of me when I read, and anyone who's had a reading with me knows this is true. So, your personal sensei from this point forward is going to be a very simple solution to what's taken me 10 years to figure out. And you tell me, you tell me if you like this or not. I know I can't keep up with all the graphics right now. I can't keep up with trying to sell everyone. I can't keep up with trying to teach everyone. What I can do every day for you is do what I do best and give you the gift I have, which is I'm a brilliant astrologer. I'm a fantastic numerologist. I'm an architect of sacred geometry, and I'm a brilliant psychic too. I can put all those together and encompass the vibration and put my thumb on it to the point where I've been able to write software around that ability. So I'm just going to show up every day being completely myself with some graphics and kookiness, but I'm going to save that for the films I want to make. I'm going to save all this entertainment side for me for the entertainment I want to make. I'm going to save the teaching for the classes I want to create. I'm going to save the lectures for the lectures I want to do. You know what I mean? And I'm just going to be Christopher Witecki, psychic astrologer, who is a sensei to serious joy. That is a person who is really, the whole reason I learned all these crafts was to reach joy, to enlighten myself, and help the world along the way. And I'm bringing my favorite tools for the job. A clipboard with a printed out chart of today, my amazing 4-color pen, I don't know if you can see it, that's my magic wand, and always a source of of Starbucks coffee, which I've just unfortunately become addicted to. I can't lie. So let's look at today. And here's the other thing I'm going to tell you about today. Now, this is true with my readings. You guys are going to get an idea how I work with readings. I'm a psychic. So from the very first day, I'll look at the chart, and my guides will be like, hey, look at Pluto. Hey, look over there at Mars. And I'll look, and they'll tell me, and I'll be like, I'll learn right there in front of the client. They probably don't know that. You know, I've been that way since from the beginning. And so what I'm going to do, actually, is I haven't even looked at today's chart until right now. I'm going to do it exactly as I do it every day when I do it for myself. So we're at, yeah, and I'm asking my guides, too, what they want me to focus on, and they say Mars. So I gotcha. So today, step 27, Cancer rules the day. And the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to give you guys practical advice about the transits, and then I'm going to give astrological citations for people who are astronauts, okay? So with the sun, it's 27 degrees, or step 27. Today, you're going to be really feeling your destiny and your legacy coming together. You're going to feel these energies come together into one. Part of it is your destiny. The destiny part is actually the psychic part. So there'll be a lot of your destiny coming through, like the things that you've seen or always been hoping for or looking for. You're going to see these signs. You're going to feel these signs. And the planets say, you know, definitely to identify those signs. Mercury at step 23, astrological citation, is saying that we are reprogramming the mind today. So when Mercury gets to step 23, we reset the mind. It actually happens at that step. So this is where belief and this is where feelings come together. So you believe it, you feel yourself, you feel your destiny. Okay, we've all been in that moment, right? And, you know, but it's very rare to be in that moment. And it's usually very private. And unless Chris Witecki or someone else says, hey, this one counts, you know, you may not know. So today we're in that feeling. And what we're creating is we're creating this new way of feeling on Earth, period. And see, sometimes your feelings are what get you back home. So you have to know what feels right before you go setting out into the world of adventure. You have to know how you feel about it and have an emotional opinion before you go bounce off of other people. And that's what we work on in Cancer, is our emotional opinion, right? So today, you have a very strong emotional opinion. And it's important to articulate it, whether you write it down or put it in a journal or something, and say, this is my emotional opinion about life, to yourself. Now Mars, that's what the guides told me to talk to you guys about. So Mars is at step 17, Cancer. 17 is, that step is the step where we take what we intuit, 7, and we decide, 8. It adds to an 8. And so this is what the guides are telling me, is that we need to decide at the root level of where we're going to act and draw our lines in the root level. So Mars is at step 18. So that means that we're making a decision at the functioning level of emotions. Like, I'm not going to go there and I'm not going to go there. So we're making a decision and a commitment at the functional level. And your life might be just at the functional level, okay? But at this time, at this moment, you have to commit that you're going to at least function this way, and that you know your legacy is way up here. Okay, I was just noticing the time. It's at 8 minutes. Just so you know, the new personal senseis will be around 7-8 minutes, but I took 4 minutes to explain what I'm doing. So today's will be 12. Okay. All right. So we're making a dedication of how we're going to function. We're probably at the functional level where you're feeling on the line of function and dysfunction. And believe it or not, I actually am feeling on the line of function, dysfunction. I mean, like I said, I'm breaking down my whole show and doing it again, and you know, it's like I was feeling dysfunctional. I wanted to feel functional. So I'm feeling this Mars definitely. And we are ready to act on the highest level, act for the highest feeling. So you're like, I don't want to feel depressed anymore. That's the highest feeling. I want to get out of my anxiety. That's the highest feeling. Okay? That's the legacy. That's what you know. I feel I'm meant for greater things. That's the highest. But there's a functional too. And the functional is, but we got to get the hell out of, our cousin's house if this is going to happen. That sort of thing. So the next thing my guys are pointing to is Jupiter at step 25. Step 25, Jupiter in Leo. Step 25 is I feel it and I think about it. Okay? So basically, step 25 is when you can get your emotions and your intellect aligned on the same path. And when that happens, 7, spirit. So when emotions and thoughts are aligned, you serve spirit. All right, that's how it works in the architecture of incarnation. That's what I have discovered in my work with step astrology. So Jupiter in Leo means we're trying to get our feelings about love and our thoughts about love on the same channel. And I know in my heart, I've been doing that too. I myself am single and no longer wanting that. And so I feel certain ways, I think certain ways, but they're not necessarily aligning right now. They may not be aligning because of this work we're doing in Cancer, because maybe I haven't set my functional emotion correctly, and maybe I haven't set my final destination correctly. And so as a result, that's why I can't get my feelings and my thoughts together about love. But the good news is this week we're going to get our feelings and our thoughts together about love. And that is the key to everything, because with Jupiter in Leo, astrological citation, we are, for the first time in 12 years and for the last time for 12 years, investing in love for love's sake only. Right? And Jupiter is boundless and love is boundless. So we have the boundless planet in the boundless sign. All right? And you go, well, isn't Sagittarius boundless? No, actually love is more boundless than Sag. Sag is boundless to the known mind and collective conscious, if you want to know how it stacks up. So Jupiter is big. Now Venus today is at 0 degrees Virgo, astro citation. And what that means is that you may be feeling a little numb. You might be like not being able to feel anything. Like you put on your favorite show, you can't feel it. You can't feel this, can't feel that. That's because we're about to go through a Venus retrograde, and I'll be talking about that specifically and doing a video just for that, a couple of videos. But that's just so you can focus on your inner feelings. And so in a way, the universe is, and my guides are talking now too, the universe is blocking external emotional forces so that you can focus on your inner self right now and make these choices before the Venus retrograde. When the Venus retrogrades, I'll go ahead and say this now, we go through a past life transit. You will find yourself in the same conditions that you were in a past life. The characters, the events, and the drama. The universe will use today's actors and props to recreate the past life drama. All right? I have personally gone through this 3 times now, without any doubt. Each time I went through it, I have to say it was hell. But I have a feeling this time, this past life, I'm going to want to keep open. And in this 6 weeks, you're introduced to this side of yourself, a life you once lived. And these are sides of yourself as far as you're concerned, but these sides of yourself all come together with a little extra special surprises you hadn't seen before during a Venus retrograde. And what you decide is, do you want to bring any of these parts of yourself back into this story? Do you want to transfer this avatar from this game in 1767 to here? And that's basically what you're doing. You're transferring avatars and deciding, I'm going to bring this personality forward. Now, a lot of times in a Venus retrograde, a past life lover comes forward. So I hope I get a past life lover this time. It's more fun that way because I can navigate it, but it can get a little sticky because they're not necessarily meant to be with you. This is someone you're in love with in the past life, and they're here to remind you of those things in the past life, but they may not necessarily be what you chose this life. They've come during the retrograde. So anyone you meet during the Venus retrograde is destiny, fate, and 100% you knew them before. I would say 98% of the people we interact with, even strangers on the street, we knew before. Remember, we're all just God divided up, so it's all us anyways. We're talking about tiny, tiny split hair fractions, which is just like our DNA code. 98% of us and gorillas are the same. Only 2% makes a difference. Same with God consciousness as well. So we're at the 13-minute mark. I'm going to close up here. The main points of today's energy is, let me just kind of get back to, I went off teaching there for a second, but the main point of today's energy, and this was coming off of the Venus retrograde, and Venus is at 0 degrees. Here we are, Chris. We're coming back on track. Sorry, I do this sometimes. And so Venus is offline, and so you're focusing on, with Venus at this degree, really your inner feelings. This is to get clear on who you are now, this life, before God throws you in the middle of a new life in 5 days. Okay? So this is your last moment to get in touch. The moon is in Virgo, so everything feels very real. You're going to be very, sticky pants and icky about certain things and certain details. And whatever details or whatever you feel sticky about, if your heart doesn't care, then you don't care. You have to ask your heart, do we really care about this? if you really don't care, if you're not going to proclaim it and claim it at pearly gates, if you don't plan to check in that evidence into pearly gates as this is my life's work, God, well then don't hang on to that detail. So we want to the point of the moon in Virgo is to focus on the important details, ignore the ones that don't matter. What separates the ones that matter or don't matter is your heart. In fact, love is the only thing that can turn non-matter into matter. So things that matter become matter. Watch what matters today. And that's a perfect ending, I think. So thank you so much. Like I said, I'll be back tomorrow with another, I think I'm going to call these Namaste's Todays because it is the light in me, it is the light in you. And I'm going to call them Namaste's Todays. They're going to be just me chit-chatting with you. I'm sitting down, I'm not standing up. And I'm just going to do the planets of the day. And I'm going to keep them at about 8 minutes tops. Okay? Guys, come on down to soulgarden.tv, my new website. If you register with the website, you'll have access to backdoor rooms that have videos I will not put out on YouTube. So come on down and check it out. I love you, and I'll see you in 24 hours with more. Live, love, be.